Hello everyone, today I'm here to talk about books that I don't usually talk about lately on this channel, and that is fantasy books. So, it's no secret, I've been out of the particularly YA fantasy game for a while. I'd say over the past 2 or so years, I've really kind of just not really read a lot of YA fantasy books. There's a plethora of reasons for that. Number one, I think as I'm getting older, my reading tastes are changing. That's another reason my reading tastes are changing. I much more gravitate towards adult books, like contemporary romance. I still really love YA contemporaries though, but for some reason I've just strayed away from YA fantasy. I don't know if it's because I've read just not some good ones or I'm just kind of over it, but I don't know. Either way, I was looking at my TBR shelf the other day and I was like, wow, I have a lot of YA fantasy on this shelf. Will I read them all? That is the question I'm here to ask you today. I'm showing you every single book I have that's on my TBR shelf that is within the YA fantasy genre, and I'm asking you guys to help me decide if I should read it or not, because I don't think reading all of these is gonna happen. I think maybe half of them will probably be the best for me, but I just need to know, like, would you recommend it or not, basically. I'm asking for your help on this video. I hope that's okay. So yeah, let's get to it. I have a whole stack of books right here that I'm really interested in. Like, all of them I genuinely am interested in, but I don't know if I'll read them or not. Is that is that okay to say? I don't know. First up is one that I think I definitely will read. It comes out in September, and that is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. This is a book that's kind of pitched as like Black Girl Magic, I believe. It's just a whole bunch of magic and stuff. I've heard really good things about it, and I really want to check it out. But again, YA fantasy is known for being a little bit lengthy. This one is almost 500 pages, so that's pretty long. But I think this one I will read for sure. At least fingers crossed. So I'm not too worried about this one. The other ones, I'm not sure of. A lot of them too are Outcrate books. It's not to slam Outcrate at all. I've just fallen very behind. First up is Goddess in the Machine by Laura Beth Johnson. I don't know much about this book other than the fact that this girl looks exactly like Chrissy Teigen. Does it not? So this one is about a girl, I think that it's like sci-fi as well. I'm combining genres, hopefully that's okay. She wakes up in the years 3102 and that she has to figure out like how to get back to her time or what happened and things like that. I've read a lot of books where it's kind of about that, where they wake up and it's like they were waking up too early or waking up too late, things like that. And I don't know, I haven't heard much about this, but I would love to hear if you think I would like it or not. Please be honest with me. I think a lot of you guys know my taste better than my own at this point, so let me know. One that I'm still like, I can't let this go quite yet because I'm like, maybe I'll read it, maybe not, I don't know. If I'm being honest, I'm leaning more on the probably not side, and that is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This is not a YA fantasy. It's an adult one, but I still wanted to include it in here because it's my only adult fantasy I have. This one, I think, is just about like a college secret society with a lot more darker tones to it. I don't know much about it. The reviews are mixed. I'll just say that. This is one that I'm just like, I don't think I'll read, but I think... I'm like asking you guys so much on this. Help me decide, like definitively, do you think I would like this or not? Please help me. This whole video is a cry of helping me. Please, please do. Next up is one I'm semi-interested in. That is Cursed. This is by Thomas Wheeler. It's even illustrated. As you can tell, it's made into a Netflix show, which I have yet to check out. I don't know if I will or not because I would like to read the book first. I believe this is kind of a retelling of Lancelot. No. Is that right? Or maybe Merlin. It's about the girl with the sword of Merlin. I hope I'm correct, but like I said, this has illustrations all throughout it, which makes me interested in it for sure. But still, this one's like a 50-50. Maybe, maybe not. Help me, please. Next up is House of Salt and Sorrows by Aaron A. Craig. This one I was really deciding to save for fall because it seems like a fall book, even though I'm looking at it, it's like a freaking beach, and I'm just now realizing that. I'm horrible. But this one is about a girl named Anna Lee. It's a spellbinding novel filled with magic and the rustle of gossamer skirts down long, dark hallways. I think this is a retelling. I'm not sure. I don't know. Yes, it's a retelling of like, I think it's a story of like sisters that go in like a closet every night and it's like a party every night. Am I describing that horribly? Absolutely. But I would love to know your opinions on this one. This one again is 50-50. The next one, however, I am for sure reading. The question is just when, and that is Deck of Omens by Christine Lynn Herman. This is the sequel to The Devouring Grey, which I read, I don't think last year, but maybe the year before. Maybe it was last year. I really enjoyed it. I say The Devouring Grey is a mixture between like Riverdale, Vampire Diaries, and like Stranger Things. It's kind of like a CW show where it's like a town where you have these teenagers that have magic and they have to keep this monster at bay. A newcomer comes in and you learn things, but I definitely want to read this and I'm planning to read this, so I guess for the sake of the video I just wanted to show you that, hey, there are some books on this TBR that I actually do really honestly plan to read. Two, again, I just thought were very fallish books. The first one being The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones. I mean, like, that looks very fallish. This one is about a character named Rin who, she, like, her family has a graveyard and they have been, her parents died and they've been grave diggers, and basically corpses rise and they're known as bone houses, and legend says that they're a result of an old curse. Like, this sounds really interesting to me, like kind of spooky with grave diggers and people having to figure out about corpses and things like that. This one does really appeal to me, so I feel like this will probably get read, but again, I don't know if I've heard too much about it, so as I will say 50,000 times in this video, please let me know. The other one's the same. That is The Bone Crier's Moon by Catherine Purdy. Like, this cover, even the end pages, beautiful. This one, I don't know anything about. Yes, so bone criers can keep the dead from preying on the living, but their power is to ferry the spirits of the dead into the goddess's underworld. Comes from sacrifice. So we have a character named Annalise who is prepared since birth to become the matriarch of the bone criers. But to complete it, she must kill a boy she's so destined to love. So that sounds really intriguing to me. Like, wow, really harsh. You will be like the matriarch, but you're going to have to kill the boy you're destined to love. Fun stuff. I don't know if any of these are series, by the way. I should, like, tell you that. But this one, again, sounds very intriguing to me. Very creepy. Again, let me know. One that really intrigues me is The Kingdom of Back by Marie Lu. So I've read a lot of Marie Lu books before. I've read her Legend series. I've read her Warcross series. I think that's about it. This one is like a retelling, or not retelling. Like, it follows Mozart's sister. And that really intrigues me because of Amadeus. I've seen the movie. My husband loves it, where it really discovers the life of Mozart. So this one sounds really intriguing to me, and I think I will read it. But again, it's just a matter of when will I have time? Like, what books do I need to make a priority, and which ones do I need to, like, get out of here. Right there. Another one I definitely want to read is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. This is a YA sci-fi. I have this one and I have the sequel. Is it a duology or trilogy? I don't know. All I know, it's about a girl named Spencer whose world has been under attack for decades, and there's like pilots and things like that. I've heard really good things about this book, and I've read one adult book by Brandon Sanderson and really enjoyed it. So I definitely am going to read this. When? Who freaking knows? This one, again, I'm like iffy on, and that is The Princess Will Save You by Sarah Henning. This is a retelling of The Princess Bride, only where Princess Buttercup's not really the one in, like, damsel in distress. The prince, or the guy that she's in love with, is like the stable boy, I think that's it, is like in trouble. So it's kind of like a flipped Princess Bride, which that intrigues me because I like The Princess Bride. It's a classic, but I don't know if I'm like really invested in it to read a book kind of based on it. I haven't heard much about this. So yeah, the last two books are again Outcrate books, and one of them really, really intrigues me, and that is Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angeles. Like, the cover of this, stunning. But this is pitched as like Moulin Rouge meets, oh goodness, I forgot already. Moulin Rouge meets the Night Circus, I think they pitch it as. It's like a circus, I think, where oh my gosh, that's all I know, because the stage is set, the spectacle awakes. That's all I know. This one very intrigues me. Like, I really want to check this one out. And I've heard really good things about it, so this one's probably going to be high up in the pile, I think. And the last one is Incendiary by Zordaya. Oh my goodness. Zordaya Cordova. Hopefully I pronounced that right. This one, again, sounds very interesting. This is about a girl named Renetta who was kidnapped by the king's justice and brought to the palace of, oh my goodness, I cannot pronounce that. So now she is a rebel spy working against the crown, and basically it says, but returning to the palace stirs childhood memories long locked away. As Renetta grows more deeply embedded in the politics of the royal court, she uncovers the secret in her past that could change the fate of the entire kingdom and end a war that has cost her everything. Those are all of like the fantasy books I have on my shelf, and like I told you guys, fantasy has just like not been my priority, and it took me a while to be okay with that. At the beginning of when I was starting to like, my reading was shifting, I was like, oh, I'm just really like, my channel was kind of built upon YA fantasy and YA contemporaries, and it's changing a lot, and that's what happens as you grow. You change a lot, but I used to really be like, I can't do that, like I'm scared, but now I'm really okay with it, and these all interest me, but I don't think I'm gonna read them all. Honestly, that's just me being 1000% honest. So this whole video is a cry to help for you guys to tell me which books do you think I would like, which books should I just steer clear of, and what books you're like 50-50 maybe, because you will help me a ton. And I really think that I could read half of these and the other half maybe not. Maybe I'll kind of just like store them not on my TBR shelf, just maybe I'm not quite 1000% ready to give them up yet. But either way, this whole video, like I said, please help me decide what book should I check out or not. I would love to hear your opinions and your favorite YA fantasies. There's some that for sure I'm going to read this year, like Stop It to Hear series. There's no secret about that. I will definitely be finishing that series because it's like one of my favorite YA fantasy series of all time. So YA fantasy I still read occasionally, just nowhere as much as I used to. And I'm just trying to be realistic here. Which ones will I see myself for sure reading and which ones probably will I not read? So please help a girl out because I need it. Leave a comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you liked this really kind of weird, odd video where it was basically me asking you for help, which is okay. I need help a lot of the times. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.